This video is about interviewing and screening prospects. And let's talk about first things first. First thing is this, is your marketing is actually your first step in the screening process, okay? Remember this. I don't know if it's in here written down, but I'm gonna give it to you and you can write it down. The transactions you've been working on and the people you've been working with are a direct result of the marketing you've been doing or the lack thereof. So if you're doing broadcast marketing, trying to be all things to all people, you're going to get all people, all walks of life, people that take up your time, people that aren't ready, they'll just keep asking questions, they're just driving you crazy. Your marketing should be direct, targeted marketing, okay? It's highly targeted, direct response marketing, so that way you pre-select the people who receive your marketing, you pre-select them. And you obviously only want to pre-select the folks you really want to work with, the people who have money, for example, right? For me, it's always professionals and business owners. Those are my two main categories of clients, people who are professionals in their fields and business owners, because I know business owners, they don't have time for BS, right? They want things done fast. And I like that because it means they get paid faster, right? Professionals typically in management, because again, they got to be decisive. They got to handle a lot of things. And you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. I like working with them because they'll get the deal done. You'll get yourself an easier transaction. And okay, so back to this. Let's go into some nuts and bolts here. So this is assuming, this part here is assuming you've already been using targeted direct response marketing. Now, if you're a student in the program, you're one of my agents on my global investor agent team, I know you've got the direct response targeted marketing because I've given it to you. There's dozens of campaigns. Every one of them is chock full of content, even nurturing campaigns as a follow-up. But the point is it's highly directed and targeted and it works. Okay, so back to this. Let's assume you've done your marketing, they respond to you. First thing you do is this, you want to interview every person who responds to you. You want to determine what type of prospect they are, what marketing did they respond to, okay? Are they first-time home buyers, move-up buyers, downsizers, investor? You ask them, you always ask them, what was it that you saw? Was it the booklet? You know, they'll tell you, hey, sometimes they'll just say, hey, I just got your post on Facebook with that listing, or I saw the YouTube video of that fourplex you're selling, whatever. Then it's easy. You know how they came across you. You want to always get that information. That way you can track and measure your marketing. It doesn't take that much time. It's a simple question, and usually they tell right off the bat anyways. Now, right out of the gate, you always want to build rapport. Every conversation always build rapport. Even if it's a follow-up conversation, you still want to rebuild rapport. Like if it's been a week or two since you've spoken to them, hey, how'd your son do in his t-ball game? You know, did your daughter like the new puppy you bought her? You just rebuild rapport. I can't emphasize this enough. You know, as far as the relationship behavior, not only is it common sense and common courtesy, it's how you live, what will lead you to them knowing you, liking you, trusting you. Now you obviously want to be authentic and genuine. It should come natural to you. These are all things you probably do naturally anyways. Just remember that sometimes you get in a hurry and you skip the nice stuff, it can hurt you later on, okay? Now there are exceptions. If you're in the middle of negotiating a deal and the phone calls are going back and forth, you don't have to keep saying, hey, how's that new puppy working out? They'll think you're crazy. Then you can go right in business. But generally speaking, build and or rebuild rapport every conversation, okay? Now let's say you use the booklet campaign to attract them. They call you up and they say, hey, I'm looking at these flips you show me the examples. I like the third one. Right? It's easy to continue to build rapport there. What you do is you start asking them questions of the sample properties I included, which one stood out if they don't already tell you. What about it really piqued your interest? Remember, who, what, where, when, how, okay? You can't go wrong with those open-ended questions. If you ever, guys, real quick pause here. If you're ever stuck on what to do in a conversation, particularly when it comes to business, always pull out your hand. You don't have to see it, just thumb. Who, what, where, when, how. Hold it by your side. And you'll come up easily with a question you can follow up with. That's how you keep conversations going, okay? So in any case, you want to ask them open-ended questions and let them talk because they'll give you valuable information, all right? So let them talk, ask them those who, what, where, when, how, why questions. Now you want to get into qualifying them, okay? Once you've built rapport, it's pretty evident they want to flip a home or whatever you want to buy a rental. So, okay, great. This is awesome. I think we're gonna be able to work well together. I got some great techniques to find inventory going under the radar screen. We don't really use the MLS. We go under the radar screen. In order to do that, I've got to ask you some important questions. In order for me to represent you, I've got to confirm to other people that I've already interviewed you and screened you. This is how it works with the real investor business, okay? So can you tell me, what do you have in savings? Don't ask them how much money they have. That could be offensive. Just say, what do you have in savings? A little bit kinder and gentler. And usually it'll tell you, okay? Then you ask, do you know what your credit score is? Don't ask them what their credit score is. Ask them if they know what it is. And usually they'll say no, or yes, I do. It's 794 or whatever it is, okay? And then you ask them, do you have an available line of credit? And what I'm doing here is I'm determining that the answer to this question tells me a lot. If they've got an available line of credit, that means a lender somewhere, a banker, thought enough of them to give them a line of credit. Number one, they're credit worthy. Number two is if it's available, it means they haven't blown it all on cars and boats and vacations and stuff like that. They have available credit on their line, which means they can strike fast. You can get a deal, they write a check, you got yourself a deal, okay? The bottom line is people who answer affirmative these things, they got some savings, they got a good credit score, and they got a line of credit, they go to the top of the list. Think of a bus, all right? These folks go in the front seat. You're the driver, and they go right behind you. The people that like have no savings, or they don't know what their credit score is, or they don't have an available line of credit, they go towards the back of the bus. It's not being offensive, it's being practical, okay? They need to be nurtured. You have a different way to deal with them. I'll go over that here in a bit, okay? So in any case, you want to determine readiness, willingness, and ability. That's what you're doing, okay? Now, any case, once you're done that, you say, great. Do me a favor, please email me with a recap of our conversation in your own words. What this does is not only allows you to confirm what you both talked about, like you're in agreement, you're on the same, singing from the same song sheet. It also allows them to demonstrate their propensity to commit and take action, okay? If they follow through and actually send you the email, that means you're the driver of the bus and they're gonna sit right behind you. Follow what I'm saying? Guys, if you don't do this, they become the driver and you experience what's called whiplash. They'll call you up, hey man, can you take me out on Saturday? Man, there's all these great properties, we gotta go. And you might be going to your daughter's softball game or dance recital. Don't let that happen. You are the driver of the bus, okay? And they'll respect you for it. So in any case, if they don't email you back, if you want to, you can try to, keep the relationship going, but chances are they're actually showing you with their behavior what it's going to be like working with them in the field. I had an old saying from one of my old doctors said, believe them the first time. Believe them the first time. They're showing you with their behavior, okay? Now, once an email back, just remember, you could try, but it's going to be like pulling teeth. I'm not out there telling you how their behavior is, what it's going to be like out in the field. The ones that email you back right away, you got yourself a winner. Here's what you do. You right away follow up. Send them an email back with your agency agreement. Say, awesome. Please sign this, return it to me. It's an agency agreement. There's some good benefits in here for you. Number one is, as I find out information about other people in any transaction we deal with, I'm obligated by law to give that to you, right? Number two, if you don't sign this, I'm not obligated to protect your information. That's not consumer law. I'll always give you fairness and honesty. But when you sign an agreement, it commits me to you, right? That I'm going to keep your information confidential and work on your behalf, okay? So in any case, we have an exclusive agreement. And this is how I operate. I'm a professional, and you're a professional too, and I respect your time. This is how we do business in a professional world. You don't have to go to that extreme, but sometimes you got to explain things, right? In any case, back to this. If they object, you can remind them, like everything we just talked about, you just don't be shy and don't be timid. Own it, right? Feel good about yourself. In fact, whenever you're doing this, if you're with somebody in person, make sure you're dressed for the occasion, right? For men, button-up collar shirt and a sports coat, right? And nice slacks, okay? At a minimum, right? Sometimes I'm wearing a full-blown suit with a tie. For women, it's much more variety if you're a woman, but you choose whatever makes you feel comfortable and confident, right? Keyword confidence. Whatever makes you feel like a professional, that's what you wear, okay? And you'll be amazed. Do a test here. do a test. Go into a bank or a grocery store one time wearing sweatpants or gym shorts or whatever, and a ratty old t-shirt or a sweatshirt. Okay. And then notice how people pay attention to you or not pay attention to you. Next time, go in there wearing a suit and watch what happens. Okay. Believe me, I'm one of the most relaxed people you ever meet outside of work. You see me on the beach, I got my boogie board and my board shorts, and I'm out there in the water having a blast. But when it comes to business, I'm all business, right? In any case, dress professionally, dress for the occasion. And now you got yourself a winner. Go take action. There's other videos you can watch. The next one should be, how do you actually close them? There's a process you go through to find properties, get them to agree to a property that they're buying. There's a process to locate properties and owners that you want to list and sell. There's a process for that, all documented and videotaped. It's all out there for you. So, all right, take care of yourself. God bless. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.